As Lebanon gears up for the Riyadh summit and Prime Minister Najib Mikati arrives, negotiations focus on a potential ceasefire amid ongoing Israeli airstrikes. Meanwhile, Gaza faces a looming famine. Kamal Adwan Hospital suffers critical medicine shortages and Jabalia endures another massacre. Join our special coverage on Qnews for minute-by-minute updates on the Middle East.
كل المستهدفين هن مدنيين.
وضع شيء مرعب، شيء بخوف.
The Lebanese Health Ministry has reported that an Israeli airstrike on the town of Mashqara in the West Beqa overnight killed 3 people and injured 2 others. In a separate attack on the town of Sahmur, also in West Beqa, 1 person was killed and 4 others wounded. The Lebanese Ministry of Health has reported 33 deaths and dozens of injuries following Israeli airstrikes on southern and eastern Lebanon overnight. The strikes targeted villages across southern Lebanon, including a strike near the Jarmash border crossing in the western Homs countryside. Caretaker Prime Minister Najib Mikati has arrived in Riyadh to lead the Lebanese delegation at the Arab Islamic Summit hosted by Saudi Arabia beginning tomorrow. The delegation also includes caretaker Foreign Affairs and Immigrants Minister Abdullah Habib and caretaker Agricultural Minister Abbas Haj Hassan. Lebanon is witnessing heightened tensions as Israeli forces intensify operations in the south, citing Hezbollah as a major threat.
Since last night, Lebanon has faced heightened tensions as Israeli occupation forces expand their aggressions in the country's southern regions. Citing Hezbollah activities as a primary threat, the Israeli occupation forces have deployed additional troops near Lebanon's southern border and issued evacuation warnings to residents in 24 villages. This escalation follows recent cross-border exchanges of fire between Hezbollah and Israeli forces, with Israel ordering civilians to evacuate their homes and areas near Hezbollah positions, signaling a potential intensification of strikes on these sites. The situation has prompted urgent international diplomatic responses. The United Nations and several countries, including China, France, Algeria, have called for an immediate ceasefire, stressing adherence to UN Security Council Resolution 1701, which mandates Israeli withdrawal from Lebanese territory and emphasizes the Lebanese army's role in securing the border. In light of the escalating violence, international evacuation efforts are underway, with countries such as United Kingdom and the Netherlands arranging flights to assist their nationals in departing Lebanon amid the volatile security situation. Meanwhile, the humanitarian toll is rising. Lebanon's health ministry has reported a surge in casualties following overnight Israeli airstrikes. The United Nations and humanitarian organizations are pushing for secure access to deliver aid to the affected regions in Lebanon.
To help us analyze the current situation in Lebanon, we're joined from Riyadh by the political analyst, Dr. Mubarak Al-Ati. Welcome and thank you for joining us here on Qnews. Firstly, let's start off with what is the primary focus of Lebanon's agenda as it prepares for the Riyadh summit, especially in light of the current situation, the security situation specifically in Lebanon?
Good evening, Islamic Arabic Summit will happen tomorrow in the Riyadh. We look to her in a lot of positive, and it is an Islamic situation for the Israel in our investigations, which moreover the new President Donald Trump, which means the summit will be responsible to the solutions to stand with our brothers in Lebanon and Palestinians and make a good decision to ceasefire.
Okay, sir, can you elaborate on the key challenges that Lebanon is facing domestically that may affect its position or priorities at this summit?
Sure, the ceasefire is the priority and the humanitarian helping and go to put a solution for the countries or friends country with Lebanon military and also international law in Lebanon and help Lebanon, also Gaza in Palestinian situation to negotiate it in a Palestinian table to make sure and to country solution.
Okay, well, sir, if we could just focus on Lebanon, how could Lebanon's participation in the Riyadh summit bring additional international attention or support for the ceasefire efforts, especially that they are talking about the idea of, sticking to the 1701 resolution and attempting to create a ceasefire and bring about, peace in the region?
The Saudi Arabia is the first country which pay attention about the Lebanon situation, also the political stance and historical stance, and it is make sure that and Lebanon also wanted to stop the war in Lebanon and implement of the destruction, and also Lebanon will be one of the countries will provide the help to Lebanon and brothers in Lebanon, and Lebanon will be one of our brothers, and they need help, and they now without parliaments and presidents, Lebanon now needs help with our brothers in Arab or foreigners, and also to people to stand.
So, sir, do you expect any outcomes or declarations from the Riyadh summit that might shift the dynamics in favor of Lebanon?
I look at in a positive way. The summit will be help in a vital role with Lebanon. Lebanon will be an important role we can rely on, and also with Arab and foreign sectors to solve the Lebanon matters, and also try to really the military and the solution in Lebanon needs Lebanese willingness, because it is the important solution for sake of Lebanon portfolio. The Israel side and Netanyahu's military, it is believe in using a war machine to solve the disputes, and this war will provide it in a table negotiation, and it is an important to solve and it's an important rule to solve the between countries.
Okay, sir, so in your view, what are the main obstacles to achieving a ceasefire agreement in Lebanon right now?
There is a lot of obstacles, but in reality, I see the disagreements in Lebanon and trying for Iran. It is the big obstacle towards any solutions because Parliament President in Iran and also the Prime Minister of Iran, they threatening Lebanon, and it is not good, and they trying to stop the helping to Lebanon and want us to stop the two countries solution. And in Lebanon dispute due to elections to president for Lebanon people. Also the five members in conference, they will need a president to solve the matters in Lebanon, and this is the obstacle that we can go up this with our brothers in Lebanon to help them in developments.
Okay, that was political analyst Dr. Mubarak Al-Ati. Thank you for your insights and thank you for joining us here on Q News. Thank you, sir. Now we move on to the latest developments in Gaza. UN Relief and Works Agency Commissioner General Philippe Lazzarini has warned of a looming famine in northern Gaza, where Israeli forces have been conducting a month-long military offensive. Lazzarini condemned Israel's tactics, accusing the military of using hunger as a weapon. He also highlighted the severe shortages of humanitarian aid, with just 30 trucks entering Gaza daily, meeting only 6% of the population's food needs. Medical staff at Kamal Adwan Hospital in northern Gaza have urgently called for humanitarian assistance. The hospital, already struggling with limited resources, warned that lives are being lost daily due to the ongoing Israeli blockade. Hospital officials say the situation has become increasingly dire. A Palestinian civil defense has reported that Israel has imposed a strict siege on northern Gaza for over a month, employing starvation tactics to coerce evacuations. Reports also indicate that Israel blockaded the entry of essential supplies such as food, water, and medicine, rendering medical and civil defense systems inoperable for nearly 18 days as strikes on residential areas persist. Gaza is facing a deepening humanitarian crisis as Israeli airstrikes continue, causing rising civilian casualties and severe shortages of essential supplies.
Gaza faces a worsening humanitarian crisis as Israeli airstrikes persist, leaving the territory with severe shortages of essential supplies, increasing civilian casualties and rising international demands for a ceasefire. Israeli attacks target areas claimed to be used by Hamas. However, these operations result in extensive civilian casualties and widespread infrastructure damage. According to local and international reports, Gaza's healthcare system is on the brink of collapse, with hospitals struggling due to severe shortages of medical supplies, fuel, and clean water. The World Health Organization has issued a stark warning of a potential famine in Gaza, citing extreme shortages of essential supplies and an inadequate flow of humanitarian aid. As the crisis intensifies, International organizations have called on Israel to permit more substantial and consistent humanitarian assistance. Current proposals include a maritime corridor to facilitate daily entry of 100 to 508 trucks. However, logistical and security challenges limit the scale and impact of relief efforts. Global appeals for an end to hostilities are gaining momentum, with the United Nations and other organizations underscoring the urgent need for a ceasefire to prevent further civilian suffering. The United States has engaged in discussions with Israeli officials, advocating for improved aid access and coordination despite security complications.
To help us analyze the current situation on the ground in Gaza, we're joined from Qnews by the director of the Medical Relief Association in the Gaza Strip, Dr. Bassem Zaqqout. Welcome to Qnews and thank you for joining us. Firstly, let's start off with how is Kamal Adwan Hospital managing under the severe medication shortages, and what are the most urgent medical supplies needed right now? Doctor, I don't know if you heard me the first time round, but first let's start off with the Kamal Adwan Hospital. How is Kamal Adwan Hospital managing under the severe medication shortage, and what are the most urgent medical supplies that the hospital needs right now?
Yes, they need health supplies because the infrastructure in emergency situations they cannot help in emergency because there's dozens of injuries, and they prevent the supplies to the hospitals, and they need an urgent supplies to do surgeries, and dozen of equipments needs, and this fired in the war because the bombing, and there is no electricity in the hospital, and they need electricity to help to do the surgeries in all.
Sir, how are the healthcare workers at Kamal Adwan Hospital coping with the pressure or the increasing pressure from the surge in casualties, in addition to the shortage of resources and the threat of bombardment?
Kamal Adwan Hospital, it is out our hand because it is surrounded for 25 days, and there is no health supplies, and two hospital workers trying to dealing with urgent cases to save their lives, because the injury tried to reach the hospital, and there is difficulty to help them and move the injuries to the hospital. It is difficult in this surrounding, in addition to some airstrikes to the hospital.
Sir, what about the food crisis itself? You talked about, the hospital being besieged, but also the north of Gaza is facing severe food shortages. How close are we to a full-scale famine, and how are you dealing with the people who are malnutritioned? Dr. Bassem, I don't know if you got the question, but if you could talk to us a bit about the food crisis that Gaza is facing right now. How close do you believe we are to a full-scale famine, and how can you deal with those who have faced malnutrition and severe food shortages?
Yeah, there is a severe shortage in food in Gaza sector, and the civilians can't find any food. They can't still resilient because they stored some food and it is empty right now. They cannot find any food to help them. But there is a risk in this famine in Gaza sector, and will be a severe famine. And I want you to know that Gaza sector is surrounded in all sides, and there is prevent the food supplies, and they cannot help them in attempting to move the food, but they are still trying to evacuate the Gaza sector, maybe.
Okay, so what challenges are relief organizations facing in trying to address both the immediate medical needs and the broader food crisis in Gaza? How are they going to deal with it, and what is hindering them from dealing with this crisis right now?
They're trying to deal with this crisis, and it is difficult. They're trying to dealing with the relief as per the support, and the Udwan is still trying to bombing, and they're trying to solve the situation, and of their relief cases wanted to save their lives in this situation and hope to be able to resilience due to the Udwan. And there's some people alive, but the other people lost their precious things, and they live in a catastrophic cases without water and food, and there is no relief, and there's no medication to help their illnesses, and they live without any support.
Sir, could you sort of provide us an overview of the current humanitarian situation in Gaza, specifically in light of the many tragedies that have been seen in the north and specifically in Jabalia refugee camp?
The relief situation, it is the same. It is repeated day by day in Gaza sector. It is surrounded, and there is no and they cannot move the help or the supporters to the camping, and they experience a catastrophic case because there is no food, no waters, and there is no any resources to medication, and they cannot be able to move in this camping because they evacuated this area because of the bombing, repeated bombing, and they feel unsafe in this. And there is no solutions to help them, and there is relief support. Actually, it is a catastrophic situation, and they are trying to solve it, but I see that the one solution to stop the bombing is to...
Yes, okay, that was the Director of the Medical Relief Association in the Gaza Strip, Dr. Bassem Zaqqout. Thank you so much for your insights, and thank you for bringing us an inside look into the Gaza Strip. This brings us to the end of our special coverage on the escalating tensions in the Middle East. Thank you for watching, and stay tuned for more updates here on Q News.